Atlanta, a city known for its vibrant culture and southern charm, found itself grappling with a horrific tragedy in July 2024. Two teenagers, Jacody Davis and Lamon Freeman, both just 13 years old, were brutally murdered. The news sent shockwaves through the community, leaving many in disbelief and despair. How could such young lives be cut short so tragically? The answer, as the investigation would soon reveal, lay in the dark underbelly of gang violence that plagued the city. The murders of Jacody and Lamon were not isolated incidents. They were the tragic consequences of a gang war that had been simmering for months, terrorizing neighborhoods and claiming innocent lives. The roots of this conflict, according to the Atlanta Police Department, could be traced back to a seemingly unrelated event, a music video shoot for the popular rapper Lil Baby. The shooting occurred on May 14, 2024, at the Hidden Village Apartments in northwest Atlanta. While filming his music video, gunfire erupted, injuring 3 men in their 20s. The incident, according to law enforcement, ignited a chain reaction of retaliatory violence that ultimately led to the deaths of Jacody and Lamon. The question on everyone's mind was how a music video shoot could transform into a scene of such chaos and bloodshed. The answer, as investigators would soon discover, lay in the complex web of gang affiliations and rivalries that plagued Atlanta. The Hidden Village Apartments, where Lil Baby's video shoot took place, was allegedly in a territory controlled by a rival gang. The police theorized that the presence of Lil Baby and his entourage, perceived as affiliated with a different gang, was seen as an intrusion and a provocation, sparking the initial shooting. The drive-by shooting at the music video shoot was just the tip of the iceberg. It unleashed a wave of retaliatory violence that spread through the city like wildfire. Drive-bys, assaults and targeted attacks became commonplace, instilling fear in the hearts of residents. The cycle of violence seemed endless, with each act of aggression begetting another. The fear was palpable, particularly among those who lived in neighborhoods most affected by the gang war. Parents were afraid to let their children play outside, fearing stray bullets. Shop owners boarded up their windows, their livelihoods threatened by the constant threat of violence. The social fabric of the community was being torn apart, leaving behind a trail of trauma and despair. As the investigation into the murders of Jacody and Lamon deepened, attention turned to Lil Baby. The Atlanta Police Department, led by Major Ralph Woolfolk, alleged that the rapper played a role in instigating the violence. They claimed that his decision to film in a rival gang's territory was a reckless act that ignited the conflict. Lil Baby, through his attorney Drew Findling, vehemently denied these accusations. Findling argued that the rapper had no knowledge of any gang affiliations or rivalries in the area, and that the location for the video shoot was chosen by a professional team, not by Lil Baby himself. He further emphasized that Lil Baby, who grew up in the same neighborhood as the murdered teens, was devastated by their deaths and had no involvement in the violence that took their lives. Despite Findling's strong denials, the police remained steadfast in their assertions. They pointed to fan-captured videos that confirmed Lil Baby's presence at the Hidden Village Apartments before the shooting. Arrest warrants obtained by news outlets also corroborated the police's claim that Lil Baby was the target of the initial attack. The situation presented a complex and nuanced narrative, with conflicting accounts and perspectives. The tragic events in Atlanta serve as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of gang violence. 2 young lives were cut short, leaving behind grieving families and a community grappling with the trauma. The incident sparked outrage and calls for action to address the root causes of gang violence and find ways to break the cycle of violence that continues to plague communities across the nation. The murders of Jacody and Lamon are not just a story about gang violence. They are a story about lost potential, about dreams shattered by bullets, and about the urgent need for peace. These were just children, on the cusp of their teenage years, with their entire lives ahead of them. Their deaths serve as a painful reminder that we must do better, that we must find a way to protect our children and create a world where such senseless violence is unthinkable. The question remains, how do we move forward? How do we heal the wounds of the past and build a future where tragedies like this are not repeated? The answers are complex and multifaceted, requiring a collaborative effort from law enforcement, community leaders, educators, parents, and individuals. It requires addressing the root causes of gang violence, providing opportunities for at-risk youth, and fostering a culture of peace and understanding. It is a long and arduous journey, but one that we must undertake if we are to create a world where all children, regardless of their zip code or background, have the opportunity to live long and fulfilling lives.